the Lord.
Hallelujah.
So like Pastor said, so we want to look at use of mobile phone in our children. And I know some of us, it's something that we already know, that we are aware of, because we are all parents, and we have different parenting methods. So, but no knowledge is lost. You can learn from me, I can learn from you. So as we go along, if you have anything to add, there will be opportunity for addition or questions at the end of the presentation. So just go along with us. So use of mobile phone in children. So there is a question that I want us to have at the back of our mind. Does your child need a mobile phone? So we don't have to answer it, but just think, and then at the end of it, then you decide whether your child or your children actually need a mobile phone. So let's look at the overview of the increasing prevalence of mobile phone use among children nowadays. You can see that chart compared in 2022, the percentage of children using mobile phone at the younger age, and then 2023, you can see it's more. And that's the reality. Our children now, like Pastor said, 2-year-old is handling phone, So like research shows that 42% of children have mobile phone by age 10, which I quite agree with, because I know my son started using mobile phone at the age of 7, And the reason for increment is not just because I have money to buy a mobile phone for my child. I think it's just the technology is advancing, and then circumstances as well. So because sometimes your circumstances might be different from my own circumstances. So you might want to answer that question that, okay, does your child need a mobile phone? Maybe because of your circumstances. Like all of you know, like for me personally, like for the past 10 years, I've been significantly raising a child. So I want to leave a child. You want to leave your child at home. You want to leave a mobile phone. So you want to take your child to activity. You want to pick the child up after activity. You want to communicate. You want to ensure safety and everything. So circumstances will depend what age does your child use mobile phone. But this is what the research says. The overall. In 2022, 30%. But you can see in 2023, is increased as well. And by the age of 12, and it's increased to 71%, and then by the age of 14, 91% of our children have started using mobile phone. And then from Ofcom, they said they found that 3 to 4 years old children now have mobile phone, which is true. Look at I know the younger ones, Ara and Co. I know they have mobile phone that they play sound, they play music. And the younger children, older children, they can bear me witness that even when we are singing praise and worship, they will give them mobile phone. And I will say, no, it's praise and worship time. They cannot be using mobile phone. Even though they are listening to like maybe song, it might be Christian song, it might be like maybe academic song, but there is time for everything. So that's what we need to just put at the back of our mind as well, that there is time for everything. If your child needs a mobile phone, what does the child need a mobile phone for? What is the child using the mobile phone for? That's what we need to think about before we give our children mobile phone. And then we need to look at the benefits, the risk involved in using mobile phone. There is nothing in this slide that have advantages that doesn't have disadvantages. So you want to weigh it. Is the advantages more than disadvantages? Then you will be able to make that informed decision whether you want to give your child a mobile phone and the type of mobile phone you will give your child. Because another thing is having a mobile phone. Another thing is the type of mobile phone you are giving your children. A child might have, I remember when my child was young, I gave him, this old Nokia that was out then. And then he said, oh, Mommy, I can't use this one. I said, why? It's just for me to call you because I'm going to work. Just for me to say, no, I can't do anything. I said, okay, if you don't want it, leave it then. We have house phone. I'll call you on house phone, so just leave it. And then he didn't take it. I said, okay, that's fine, leave it. He didn't take for that phone for about 3 years. I said, why should I give you a smartphone? Why do you need internet? Because you want to be browsing, you want to be doing things. And eventually, when he had that smartphone, that was an incident. When we did this presentation in workers' meeting, I forgot to mention that incident, and it wasn't a nice one. I think it was age 8 or something then. So there was this. Children, they play, they send pictures to themselves. So I was just home that day, and then I saw the police. I said, on a Sunday morning, we were getting ready for church. I was like, police in my house, and they said, oh, your child sent had a picture. I was like, what picture? And then I said, but the school should have called me. Why they said it? And you know, this picture is just a female child that doesn't have anything, just like, you know. And I don't know what he sent. So I said, okay. I will go to school on Monday. So I went to school then. They now say, okay. You know, children, they thought they were having fun. They were just, I think he went to school. They were telling them that, I sent this, I sent that. And then I now said, but this thing you should have told me, you should have called me, not send the police. He didn't commit any sexual assault. So what is the meaning of this? And that is one thing you need to be aware of, because in this country we are, if the girl involved is a white child, you know, and there is nothing. It's just like, I don't know what I can use as an example here. It's just like a 7-year-old. There is nothing there. So I got so angry, and I said, what is the meaning of this? Why are you not bringing police to my house because of this? So what I want to bring out was that, you know, initially I didn't give him a smartphone, but I gave him, then this happened. So if I didn't give him that smartphone, that wouldn't have happened at that age. And because of that, I took that, even the school they said I should bring the phone to the school, so I took the phone with me. And then at that time, and it was, another thing was going on there, and I was like, I didn't want him to communicate with them, because I had to take the phone away. You can't use any phone for that period. So those are the things you need to think about. When your children, when they are using mobile phone, you need to look at the risk. That's one of the risks involved in it, and we're still going to go into details of the risk. So does your child need a mobile phone? Rather than simply answering no or yes, you must consider the purpose for having it. Like I said earlier, it depends on a multitude of factors. For example, age of your child. My child was 7 years old when we were both living alone together, and I had to give him a mobile phone because I had to be communicating with him at that time when I'm going, because I couldn't stop work, even though social service made me to reduce my working hours then, but I still had to give him food because I still had to do some work. And then is the child left alone often, either at home or at a series of scheduled events? Having mobile phone can be handy for the family as well as making everyone feel safe. So that's the same thing I said earlier. If you leave your child at home or you're dropping your child at an event, you know, you want to communicate with your child, you want to make sure that it's safe, he or she is safe, then you have to give the child a mobile phone. If having a phone is simply a fashion, social or economic statement, the answer will be no. So you have father and mother, you are home together, or maybe when you're at work, your husband is at home, you know, at least one parent is there. So why does that child need a mobile phone? You cannot always call the adult to check on them. So unlike someone that will leave a child at home on his own, on her own, then you need to check on that child. So that is when you need to see whether your child needs a mobile phone or not. So let's look at the benefits of children having mobile phone. You know, when you go to school evening, they will always tell you the positive aspect of your children first, and then they will tell you this. So we look at the benefits of children having mobile phone. So communication. Easy to stay in touch with parents and friends. You know, your children, you want to stay in touch with them, you know, and their friends as well. So it's a good means of communication with friends and family that they're not living together in the same place. Safety. You know, they can call for help in emergencies, like maybe your children, they go to school alone, using public transport. If there is any problem, they will be able to call for help, or you'll be able to check them as well. And then education, they can access educational help and resources. You know, some of them, they have all these educational apps on mobile phone. Even look at Bible. Some of them, I remember Mommy was telling me one day, I sent your son back to go and get a Bible. I said, yeah, you are right. That's fine. I'm happy with that, because nowadays, even we adults, we don't carry Bible. So my Bible is on my phone. You know, it's less baggage. I don't have to carry it. So some people, they use mobile phone for that, but we shouldn't misuse it as well. If you need to, like me personally, it's not, my son will say, like, maybe I'm old school when it comes to that. Oh, Mommy, you can use Bible, you can use phone for Bible. I say, yes. You know, in the CAC, you have that kind of a prayer that you pray. They will say, hold your Bible to pray it. So maybe that is why I say you need to carry Bible. So when Mommy was telling me that, I said, yes, that's fine. I'm happy with that. If he doesn't have Bible, you can send him to get the Bible. So there are times that you can use Bible on your phone. There are times that you need. Even the pastors, they use tablets. They use Bible on their tablets. It's good. I'm just saying that there are times that you actually need the actual Bible. So don't let the children say, oh, because I want to use Bible. And some children, I've seen them, they play on that phone. And they see, I've taken phone from them before. I said, if you're using it for Bible, it's fine. But if you're going to be playing with phone in the church, then I'm going to take that phone away. I will take it home. And then you won't have it for 1 week until the following Sunday. So responsibility. It teaches them responsibility, actually, and time management. When you give your children or your child a mobile phone, it makes them to be responsible because they don't want to, you will tell them, don't break this phone. If you break this phone, I won't buy another one, I told my son, I said, I use phone for 4 years. He said, because you're adult. He said, because you're adult. I said, but I don't have money to be changing phone every year. He said, Mommy, I'm a teenager, I'm a boy, I do this, I press phone a lot, I do this. I said, I saw the phone was like, it's so broken, pieces. I said, oh my God, even me, I can't even take that phone now because Ojo might see me. Look at the phone you are using, and it's just under a year. Look at my phone that I used for 4 years, and it's still like excellent. I can even sell it, So, but it teaches them responsibility. And now said, if you break that phone, if you don't use that phone well, I'm not going to buy it. And he knows that he won't get another phone. So next time, he will know how to manage it. So it makes them to be responsible, to be keeping things. And time, to help them to manage their time as well. And GPS tracking, like when we talk about safety, there are a lot of apps you can download on your children's mobile phone to be able to monitor them when they go to school. When they, like there is one I personally use, where your child gets to a place, it will alert you. So arrive home, so arrive school. It depends on the places that you want to get notification for. So you can, that's one good thing about mobile phone, especially when you are teenagers, you'll be able to monitor them. Sometimes when I check notification, I will come and say, oh, you didn't tell me you're leaving home. So where are you? Say, oh, but you got my notification. I said, it doesn't matter. I have your notification. You still need to tell me that you're leaving home because you didn't tell me that you'll be leaving home. And notification will tell you the name of that street, but will not tell you the person you are going to see on that street that you are going to, or the actual house number that you are going to. I said, so that is why I still need to know. So you can track them and you'll be able to know their movement. Even if they tell you that they are going to Dustin and you see them that they are in Peckham, you'll be able to track them. So that's benefit of having mobile phone. So when you look at those benefits, you'll be convinced that, okay, I think my child need a mobile phone. But the risk, you can see even the risk, I think the risk outweigh the benefits if you don't monitor your children properly. So risk of them having mobile phone, screen time, potential for excessive use leading to phone addiction, health issues, sleep disturbances in quality amount, and adequate sleep time, which can lead to possible nightmares, depending on what the phone is used for just before sleep. And this can cause daytime distress, anxiety, and impaired performance, including irritability and reduced concentration. You can agree with me when your child spends too much time on mobile phone screen, looking at the screen, it affects their sleep. If they don't sleep well, what happens? It affects their education. They won't be able to function well. They can even have nightmare as well. They start to have anxiety. They feel distressed. I gave this example when we did this presentation in workers meet that my son, they said experience is the best teacher. When you have experience of something, you'll be able to understand very well. There was a time they said, oh, your son always sleeps in school. I said, but this boy sleeps now, So when they now said, no, there is something, I should do blood test. I took him to GP, we did blood test. There was nothing, everything was fine. So what I now did was, when he was younger, the phone used to stay in my room. But immediately he turned, I think it was when he turned 16, he said, no, I can't be leaving my phone in your room now. I'm older now. So he started keeping the phone in his room. And then I noticed that this boy would not sleep. Because I had to deprive myself of sleep because we don't sleep in the same room. So even if I'm home, we'll still do the same thing. You understand? Because me, I will be sleeping. So I deprive myself of sleep. So I will now tiptoe, I will walk gently. Because sometimes he will hear me come, he will just cover himself with duvet, and so he's sleeping. So when the problem now persists, I now say, I have to get to the bottom of this thing. Then I will now tiptoe, I will go to his room, I will now open the door gently, or I will listen, then I will wait. So he's talking. I was like, those children that you are talking to, do they not have parents? Do they not have parents that to caution them that they should sleep? Just giving excuses there. Then I said, you know what? I'm canceling the contract. And even some, I've removed, I've turned the electric switch in the house off before. Because this is sometimes it's so difficult for them because they would think, oh, they know everything. So I'm just saying this as this is what I've done personally that helped me. Because children sometimes is difficult. I don't know, maybe if you, both parents, you are able to put it might be different. But for me, as a single person, this is what I used that helped when my son had this problem of screen time. So it affected him. He wasn't concentrating in school. He wasn't doing well, But when that stopped, it helped in that aspect. So that's one of the risks of having mobile phone children because screen time, they spend lots of time on the screen, and then it affects them. It makes them to perform lower in their academic life, and they become irritable as well because they are tired. When we do night shift and you get home, someone is trying to talk to you. What do? You start nagging. You start, I'm a Korani. So exactly that is what happened to them. Because they've spent it, because they won't sleep during the night. And they get to school, any little thing, they will become irritable. So that is what happened. And cyberbullying and dating, they are at risk of being bullied, when they use mobile phone because they communicate with lots of friends, lots of people, even people that you don't know, Like, this incident that happened in South End, there was this machete fight that happened. Do you know the originator of that thing? It was a TikTok. Someone organized party through TikTok, So some children, they don't even know the person, but because on TikTok they saw it, all of them went there. And it was so terrible that day, I think that thing is on YouTube or somewhere that you can watch. Broad daylight, big machete, they were fighting. And you could see the boys. And when I saw that video, there are more of black boys there. I was like, oh my God. And then immediately I got to, because I was at work when I called my son. I said, look at what happened. He said, did I go out that day? Was I not at home? I said, yes, I know you were at home. But I'm just telling you, be careful what you watch, who you listen to, who you communicate with. So they are at that risk, even children, when you work in mental health setting, there are a lot of, you work with younger children. You will see even dating, online, they will say, oh, they would meet this one, they met this online and did this, and then maybe at the end of the day, there was a problem, and then that is when they started developing mental health problems, So the risk is there. So in a nutshell, you need to, like, if you want to give your child mobile phone, you need to make sure you monitor them so that they won't be at the risk of being bullied or maybe like through dating as well. And privacy concerns, especially also inappropriate content and privacy breaches. What I told you earlier about when my son was 8 years, what happened to him. The girl in question had, I think she had siblings, like teenager siblings at that time. So they were into, because me, I was ready for them because I got so angry for them to bring police to my house without informing me. And I told them categorically, I said, I saw this as being racist because did the police go to the white girl's house? Who sent the picture first? So then I said, no, I'm going to fight it because I know my rights, And then I said, okay, the involved social services. I said, I'm a mental health nurse. You're a social worker. I'm not a junior nurse. I know what I'm doing. So I will fight it. So they know how to write letter. Me too, I know how to write my own letter. I want to see your manager. So this is what then, they now said, okay. I said, I want to see the report, the police report from the other party. Then I now found that she has siblings, teenagers, the children, they won't tell lies. And the girl now said the sisters, they are into this, these images and all that, That is how this girl got to know. And that's how she started sending it to friends in school. So I said, if I didn't do that, I wouldn't know that even the girl originated it. But you sent police to my house. If I didn't say, no, you need to send the police to that girl's house. And I need to see the report as well. Because it's my child's life. And I need to put my feet down. So that's privacy concerns, Your children will start displaying their privacy. At the age of 10, they have Facebook account. They would lie that they are 18. They put wrong age on it. When I saw my son, I said, no, Facebook say categorically you have to be age something, and you went to go and put another date of birth so that they will allow you to. And they don't know what to put and not to put on Facebook. If you're adult, you put your life on Facebook. You have capacity, like they will say in social analytics, you have capacity, you can make that decision to put your life on Facebook. But as a child, they don't know what not to put, So privacy concerns, is very important when it comes to children using mobile phones. So you need to monitor that. What are they doing? There are social skills as well. Possible negative impact on face-to-face interactions leading to poor social skills and social isolation. When the child is too glued to using mobile phone, they will not want to do anything. So they'll be like isolated in their room, Like you have teenagers, they are on game 24/7. When my son when it's not school time, oh my God, it's hell. It can be in the room from morning to night. Using that. I've packed this thing that I don't know, this PC or whatever they call it. I've packed it in my boot so many times because if I leave it home, he will go and take it. This thing that this country, the rooms, they don't have lock, unless you do lock, and So I'll put it in my boot. I will take it to work. If I don't get common, you will not see it. Even if I put it in my boot, I will go and hide the key, my car key, so that I won't get it. Just to prevent this screen time, and you need to mix with people. You need to do face to face. You don't isolate yourself. It's not only about playing game or talking online. So those are the risks involved in it. So now you might want to be thinking, okay, do I actually, does this child actually need a mobile phone at this stage? I know all our younger children, I know they all need mobile phone because they are all older children. But what about the younger ones? So we need to think about that. Even the older ones as well. I do tell my son, I don't care whether you are 20 or whatever, as long as you live under my roof, as long as I feed you, you listen to me. If you don't want to listen to me, then you can go out and live somewhere else. And they research a lot of things. There was a time I was discussing with Ayo's dad. I said, my son was asking me about tattoo, APSC, and all that. I don't know whether I just that remember that day at the back when we were telling that, I don't know how to talk to this boy. That is what he's telling me. I don't know where he's getting this thing from. And I told him, I said, sometimes don't let's be too religious. We need to be like, face the reality. We need to talk to them real, not about just religion. Oh, the Bible says this, the Bible said that. Because these children, they will even tell you, where did the Bible say a man should not wear this, should not do it? My son told me that I saw someone preaching, and someone has a braid, someone has all this. That even told me that once someone came to the church, that uncle, I don't want to mention, uncle so has this now. So why can I not do it? So I now said, I'm not saying about Bible now. I'm just telling you, each family, they have their own discipline. I said, in our family, I said, even your so-called father, did he do it? He said, no. I said, hey, so this is our family, our own family tradition here, our own family. So this is what we do. This is our own family. It's like a morale, when this is what we do in our family. I said, none of my older ones, my brothers, has this. None of your father's side has this, So pick what good things from each parent. Don't pick the bad aspect of me. Don't pick the bad aspect of your father. Pick the good aspect of everyone, and then use it, and then sit down and think. I said, then the way you dress when you go out. I said, look at the world we are. Black children will be going, white children will be going. They will be stopping the black children. I said, when you dress, sometimes when he was going, he would dress, and the trouser will be here. I said, no, you need to pull it up. Because when you go out there, people will see you as being someone irresponsible. One irresponsible, the way people see you. So I now told him, I said, okay, so he said, okay, what if I do it? What will you do? If I come to the house and do it, I said, just try me. If you do it that day, you will know who I am. He said, I'm your only child. I said, I don't care whether you're my only child. Don't come, I'm telling you now, don't come to the house and then come and do, you are putting your, then there was one, they have one that you can just clip like this. So he went for football, then he clipped it. And then I now said, either clip or no clip, I don't want to see you doing, I don't want to see it at all. Then when he's going out, no, for all of us that has a ring doorbell, whatever, when you are leaving, you will know that someone. So I'll quickly check. I have camera in my house, I'll quickly check. Then I'll call, if he's having car app, remove it. I want to see your this thing. He will say, but we are doing all that. But when we are not there, do you know what they do? You understand? So that is why we need to we need to plant it in them. Tell them the reasons. Don't let you be quoting only the Bible. Tell them the reason why this is not good. This is not good. This is not right. Just like Pastor was saying the other time that, that man will put something, condom in the child's back. So we need to tell them the reality, the truth of it, so that they will be able to make that decision as well. Okay, this is the path I want to go. You understand? And God will help us. So what are the warning signs that a child has smartphone addiction? So how will you know that it's not all of them that has the issue with screen. Some of them, they can easily do it and, they can manage the mobile phone very well, So when a child is always keeping a firm hold on their phone throughout the day, when they don't put the phone down, do something, it's very common among teenagers. Even as they are sitting down there, if you look at them, they will still be pressing it. They are so addicted. My son's phone broke recently. You know what he said? He said, "Mommy, I'm depressed." I said, "Why are you depressed?" He said, "For 3 days, I have no phone. It's like the whole world wants to collapse." I said, "It's good for you." He said, "Did you not hear what I said?" He said, "I'm depressed." I said, "Yes, now it's good for you because at least you can communicate with, at least you will be able to listen to me properly when I talk now. Because as you are talking, with his phone, the answers are so fast, the way they type, even when I'm typing, he say, you are too slow in this typing. Yeah, bring it, let me do it. They finish typing in. You understand? So that's one how you will know that a child is so, has phone addiction, But at least I said, now you survived it. I eventually, after a week, anyway, I eventually got him another phone. And then he said, thank God. Now I'm happy. I'm the happiest person in the whole world. Mommy, I love you, this and that. So that means he's addicted to phone. That's just the truth of it. But when he didn't have it, did he die? He didn't die. He still survived. So difficulty regulating emotions leading to sudden outbursts. When your child starts, when they start having that problem with their emotions, that the outburst, sudden outburst, that will tell you, and they can't do without that phone. They cannot even manage their emotions. Anything that has to do with phone, it's like the world wants to collapse. They will start, shouting. They can be so aggressive when it comes to that. So that will tell you. And then there will be disturbance in their sleep cycle as well, because the way they sleep with phone and all that. The inability to focus on school. I use my own son as an example, and that's the real thing that happened. This is not a story or maybe a film. It's the real thing that happened to me. That affected him at that time. He couldn't focus. Even on extracurricular activities as well. They won't be able to focus. Someone that didn't sleep well, how will he run when they are playing football? He'll be sick. He'll be, very weak. He won't be able to run, and when the goal is coming, he will just be like, So the problem in socializing, we mentioned that earlier. When your child is having problems socializing, or always, just pressing phone, even when you go out on a occasion, sitting in a corner, pressing phone, not socializing with anyone, that's one example, So we need to be vigilant and watch when a child is using smartphone to catch an early warning signs of smartphone addiction. So we need to watch. If you don't watch, if you are not very vigilant, you won't know that a child is having smartphone. You just think maybe, it's a general teenage or use fake tolerance that is being there, but you need to be very vigilant and you need to monitor them. So, guidelines for mobile phone use and how to break smartphone addiction in children. So, what do you do when you know that your child is having smartphone addiction? How do you handle that? Smartphone use and addiction is a growing concern among newer generations, as the internet gives them access to all kinds of content and opens an ocean of information for them, which is true. There's nothing you want to do if you Google it. Everything will bring it out. If you don't type, just speak. Just hold your phone and speak. Everything will bring out. When you are writing essay, just put a topic there, so everything will come out. You understand? So technology is so advanced, that, like you said, AI, everything, before, maybe in the next 5 years now, the number of people working, maybe they will even be reduced, but a machine robot will be doing everything, even in hospitals, So we need to, however, if a child is accessed to smartphone, it's essential to break this as soon as possible. So, one so at the earliest stage, let's break that circle at the earliest stage, and I know God will help us. I know most of us, we are trying, because that is something that happened to me. We tried when the child is very young, and with friends they mixed with, and then they will come home and giving you all sorts of story, and all that, But let's just do our part and leave the rest to God to help us. You understand? Experts recommend that setting clear guidelines in a conversation before they receive that phone could have positive impact on how they use it, which is true. When you give a guideline, and that guideline, we need to make sure that they face the consequences. That is one thing my son knows, that you pay. It's like you are. Sometimes we say I'm too stingy. I'm not stingy. I will tell you, I work hard to get my money. So you can't be using things inappropriately and you would think I'll be replacing. No. So when you say, okay, I'm giving you this phone, if you break it, then you are not having it. Or if you go on inappropriate website, I'm taking that phone. Even when that child beg, it's better to just say, that phone, let's take it. So that child will know that, okay, if I do this, my mommy will take this, my daddy will take the phone away. If I break this phone, I might not have phone for the next 1 year or next 6 months. So that they will be able to stay within the boundaries that you have set. So setting boundaries, putting that clear guidance at the beginning, it will help us. So let's look at the rules that we can set. So set limits on phone usage, and define clear rules for phone use. Specify times of the day when using the phone is not allowed, such as late at night or during family activities or at dinner table. Some children, they will be eating. I remember when my son was very young, we went to greet some people, and then he was eating, he was pressing one. Daddy was telling, this using phone, why on the dining table? Then it didn't click in my head. But now I know that, it's a problem when a child cannot eat without pressing phone. It's not good. So let's do dining. This is a table time, phone time is separate. So we need to set that limit for them, So mobile phones should merely be considered a tool to be used for a certain period of times, like in a day, and not throughout the day. Child should not use smartphone for extended hours a day. They should take regular breaks. Also, child should have a balance between non-smartphone and smartphone play. I know no child will want to take non-smartphone in this generation anymore. I know that, So child should be encouraged to prioritize important things such as homework, house chores, socializing, and more. Uses of smartphones as a reward or distraction should be avoided in all aspects. When your child is crying, that's what I get angry with the older children. A child will be crying. Maybe Elizabeth is crying or Ara is crying. They can't. I said, no. Let her cry. Like I have and say, anyway, we bear witness. I didn't say, let her cry. I said, anyway, it's not about So they need, you have to take mobile phone. They've done something bad. You have corrected them. They are crying. Let them cry. Let her cry. Or maybe she's been naughty or maybe whatever. She's crying. Let her cry. Don't use mobile phone. Ask, okay, borrow. No, So that's part of the limit that we need to set as well. And then when your child, homework, they are not doing homework, they are not doing housework, make sure that phone is taken off. I've canceled my son's phone contract. When you cancel a phone contract, you will pay this. Sometimes you have to bear you have to inconvenience yourself at times so that to prove to them that what they are doing is wrong, and they have to face the consequences. Tabatin deny one for some things. It might be inconvenient for us as well, but we have to just bear it. Otherwise, they won't change. So we need to set that limits, and we need to make sure that we follow whatever rules that we set. Open password. Establish that you need to know the password to the child's phone, and that you have the right to take it away if they don't. If you think that they are not using it wisely. You have the right to. You need to let them know. You know, I know my sons, I know husbands and wives, they have access to their phone. You know, the same thing should be to the children as well. You should have passwords. So you younger children, if you have not given your parents your phone's password, they have the right to have password to your phone. When my son changed his password, I told him, I said, I'm taking that phone. If you don't want to give me the password, I'll take it because I bought the phone. When you start working, you buy your phone, then I don't care, use it. But as long as I paid for this phone, I'm paying for the contract. So why are you putting a different password? He said, but I don't know your own password. I said, but you don't have to, you are not my husband, so you don't have to know my password. You know, you don't have to know my password. I'm your parent. I have the right to know your own password. You know, so, you know, occasionally I go onto his phone to check. And in fact, it's that incident when he was 8 years old. Since then, I've told him, whatever phone you are using, I need to know the password. And randomly, don't tell your children you are checking. Randomly, go on the phone and check to see what they are doing. Then you'll be able to, you know, to know. I know some of us were very busy, you know, go to work, you know. But anytime we have, let's make sure that we use that. We check their phones randomly. And if they are not giving you password, you need to take that phone away from them because they have no right to have password without you being aware of it. And screen time, we've said it as earlier, monitor and limit screen time. You know, researcher urges this rule, especially strongly for kids who already have difficulty breaking away from a screen. So you need to set screen time. This is bedtime. I know it's difficult for teenagers, you know, but at least for the people that we can still control, let's try as much as possible to set that screen time for them. Internet safety, let's teach them about internet safety. Let's tell them, you know, sometimes they might not listen. They might think, oh, we know it all. You know, what do you know? You that you are old school. You that my son will say, I'm too African. Because I said, yes, I didn't grow up, I wasn't born in Britain, but I schooled here. I said I still went to university here. So it's not about I don't have, because to him, my school knowledge is Nigerian knowledge. I said, but I still schooled here. And I worked among people. And I manage white people. So I know, so don't tell me that I don't know anything, that you know it all, you know. So you teach them about internet safety. Let's create time, open communication. Create time for the children. It's very important, you know. I know we are all busy, me and about one person, always busy, you know. But I have time that I say, okay, this is even if my phone rings at that time, this is your time. It's time you and I need to talk. So open communication. Encourage your children to talk about their online experiences and create time to listen to them. Don't let us churn them. Let's listen to them. Oh, mommy, daddy, look at, I saw this online today. What is it? Why did you even go there in the first place? You know, why, you know, don't let us be too religious. You know, let's come down to their level and listen to them. Sometimes you rap with them. You know, I'm always happy when I see children, when they play, like maybe father, they play with children, like, okay, chopping up food, this and that. You know, sometimes my son will come to me and will say, I don't know, Dad, you like do like this and do hand like that. You know, it makes them, you know, they will open up to you. You understand? You know, so don't come and shake, oh, okay, no, no, don't let it be too religious or too African. Let's listen to them. Let's come to their level. It will give them an opportunity to even tell them what is their mind. You know, I was asking my son, I know he will be 17 in November. We were talking about relationship. You know, we're talking about girlfriend. I said, I don't even know. I thought you said you had a girlfriend. You know, I said, you know, you had. He said, oh. Me, I don't have time. There are only women. We talk too much. We did this, we do that. I don't have. Said, okay, are you sure? It's not that I want him to have, but I want him to open up. I want him to feel free, so that whatever he's doing behind me that I don't know, I'll be able to know it. You understand? So we need to have that open communication. Let's give them, and children as well, approach your parents. You know, sometimes it might not be, if mommy does not have time, daddy will have time. If daddy doesn't have auntie or maybe like big uncles or, you know, talk to someone. Whatever you have. So like those people that saw that party on TikTok, if they've discussed with parents, there's a party going on, I would like to go. Maybe parents would have advised them not to go, you know. So like there was a child, I can't remember that story then. It's been a while now. A child died. I think he was trying he was practicing something and it went wrong. And then he died and he became unconscious. They were carrying the case to Parliament. They wanted to fly the child because the brain was dead, you know. It was online, So that is one of the things. If that boy has spoken to the parents about that thing that he saw online, practicing it, I know the mom or the dad would have been able to direct it, like in the right path. Rather than him now trying it, and then it went wrong. And the child eventually died, I can't remember the age of that boy, but I know it was a big case then because they had to go to the top people in the government because they wanted to fly him to India or whatever. And they said the doctors, the surgeon, they said, no, the brain was already dead. Why do you have to waste, that? So please, let's give our children time. Let's discourage them. Don't let discourage them. If they are talking about either sexual something, whatever it is, give them time to talk about it. And I must tell you this as well. Children, when you work within emotional well-being mental services, 6-year-olds talk about suicide. You understand? So we need to give them time. You don't know what they are going through. Some of them might be bullied in school. Maybe they are not telling you at home. They will be researching things. I did an assessment it was over the phone, a 6-year-old. When she was having suicidal thoughts, she was suicidal, I was like, in my head, I was like 6 years old, suicide. But when the child was now talking, we realized that it was what happened to her when she was in school, and she read some things online. Because, when you triage an assessment, you have to ask, okay, you have suicidal thought, what do you want to do? How do you intend to carry it out? Okay, where did you get the information from? The child will say, oh, I read this on so this is where I got it, and this is what I want to do, and this is when I will do it, when my mom is not there, So please, let's give them listening ears. Some of them are going through a lot, but they might be scared to say it to us, because they will say, oh, African mother, they don't want to hear this language, So please, let's give them time, and God will help us. While enforcing different rules and guidelines, we need to make sure the child understands from the very beginning and establish consequences if these rules and guidelines are not followed. And don't let us go back. When we set the rules, let's make sure, don't let the belief there. Let's be firm that, okay, these are my words. This is what I've said, and I'm standing on those words, and I'm not changing it. If you should beg, if you like, cry blood. If you like, beg me from morning to tomorrow and say all the sweetest word in the whole wide world to me, I'm not going to change my words. So because children, they are very wise, so they are very, very smart. They will talk to you and you to, oh, I know it's shaming. No, don't let us change. So appropriate age for a child to have a mobile phone. So what age should your child have a mobile phone? 2-year-old, answering your phone call. It's something that you have to think about as a family. What age should we give our child a mobile phone? Look at the maturity level. Is that child mature enough to handle what comes out of the mobile phone or what it entails? How to handle it, responsibilities, the risk behind it. Is he or she mature enough to handle it? School policies. Adhere to school rules regarding phone usage. Is that child able to adhere to school rules? Because they have their own school rules. If my son's messaging me during school, he knows. I will tell him, I will not answer his question. I'll just say, can you stop messaging me? If you want to communicate with me, go to your reception, let them call me. Because I know if they take that phone from him, they won't give him. They will now call me to come and pick up the phone. And me, I will not go. I've told him, if they catch you sending messages to whatever on the phone, and you're lying that I'm messaging your mom, I will tell them that they should hold that phone for 1 week. I won't come and collect it. I've told him, because they don't want to listen. So family needs. Evaluate if the child's circumstances necessitates having a phone. We said it at the beginning, your circumstances is different from my own. So look at your family circumstances. If your family needs warrants your child having a mobile phone at a certain age, then think properly and make informed decision. So parental controls and monitoring. It was recommended that parental control tool, which monitors a child's activity on social networks, YouTube, email, and text messages, can be installed on the child's phone. These two filters for signs of harmful content include sexual material, threats of violence, depression, suicide ideation, and bullying. You can install, you can put a control on your even internet, because like my own internet now, there is something you can't do on it. Like you try to go on Google something on internet, it won't work because you have blocked some sites. So you can do that as well. When the child on your network, whatever provider your child is using, you can install the apps as well, so that they are not able to access some harmful online content. You know, we are just trying our best. They can go out and connect to another Wi-Fi and use it, but we just try. Because most of the time they spend time in school, they spend time at home. So if you do that, you blocked it on their phone, so blocked it at home. You know, at least that will reduce the level. If the chances is like 80% before, it might go down as low as 30%. So let's just try our best. Parents get email and text alerts if there is something concerning the child's online activity. So if they are trying to do something, then you will get alert that they are trying to access a site that you have already blocked. So parental control apps, use apps to monitor and restrict usage. So you install app on it. Content filter, set up filters to block inappropriate content is the same thing that I've said earlier. And then regular check-in as well. Periodically review the child's phone activity. I said it earlier, randomly check your child's phone to know what they are doing on that phone. So, mobile phone use in children with challenging behavior. We have some children with challenging behaviors like ADHD. We know ADHD, attention deficit hyperactive disorder. As adults, when we get our mobile phone, like messages will be coming in, especially when someone is doing birthday now, and they are saying happy birthday. And especially that was a day I was at work, my phone wasn't ping. I forgot to put it on. It just went into my head. I said, oh my God. Because sometimes people, when you are like dealing with a difficult case and you need to make a decision right here and there, and your phone is making ping, you will be destabilized. You understand? Someone knows. I always, people that are close to me that calls me, I will tell them, when you call me once, I don't answer. Please don't call me again. Don't call me back. I told people, if I see your missed call, I will call you back. The person will say, that person knows herself. Say, sorry, please don't call me repeatedly. Because sometimes, even when I put my phone on vibration, it will be vibrating, and I might be at the middle of making an important decision. And that phone might be vibrating, and it will go in my head. And some of us, when you are at that stage and you get distracted a little bit, it takes you time to go back to what you are thinking. So people are different, So people with ADHD, that sound from mobile phone, if it can affect me, that my phone is making sound and I'm at the middle of making that important decision and it's getting me distracted. So look at people with ADHD, that they struggle with their attention, or already they struggle to concentrate. So mobile phone, it can even make things worse for them as well. So it says children, the constant stimulation mobile phone can be specifically distracting for kids with ADHD. A researcher explained that phones are made to be as reinforcing as possible. If you are not getting an email, like I said, you are getting a social media update, or you are checking a news feed, or you are checking a sports or sports score. Children with ADHD find it more difficult to resist all that stimulation. If I can take my eyes off that phone vibrating or everything, but children with ADHD, they can't. They will want to see what is coming out. What is this? This has come up. I need to check this. You understand? Even though screens can deliver neurotransmitter like dopamine with ADHD, which ADHD brain lacks, but they get easily distracted by new stimuli, and finds it hard to stick to one thing. And that's the reality. If you know someone that has ADHD, or maybe a parent, ask them, they will tell you. So their impulsivity will also make them more likely to post or send something, because they can't manage, when they are trying to do that, they will just send something, something that they didn't even want to, they will just send it. So that is one thing we need to look at. If you have a child that has ADHD, you need to even be extra careful in the use for them using smartphone as well. So it says, in a world where everything you create is recorded in cyberspace, they are at risk of making long-lasting mistakes. Hence, we should think carefully in making decisions regarding use of mobile phone and safeguard them. So we need to think properly. That is it appropriate for this child to use this mobile phone at this time? Or maybe we should just minimize how they use it. So we just go to conclusion, and then our pastor, we now round it up. So use of mobile phone in children should be based on individual needs. So just to round up, to summarize everything that we have been, that I've been talking about. Use of mobile phone in children should be based on individual needs and circumstances. Hence, it is important to make appropriate, balanced, and informed family decision when it comes to use of mobile phone in children. So let's as a family, my son will say, when we talk about family, let's discuss this. He will say, oh, this is not it's not complete. I said no. Even if it's one, two people can make family. It doesn't have to be 5. It doesn't have to be 6. It doesn't have to be 3. 2 people. We are family, so we are making that decision. You understand? So make that informed decision. Children aged 2 to 5 should mainly be allowed to watch only educational, prosocial, and non-violent programs. We know what prosocial means. Something that can benefit people. You understand? Not just I didn't put Christian religions there. I deliberately not put it so that it won't be as, why is everything has to be spiritual? Because that's just normal. Anyway, you can watch spiritual programs. But this is, educational, prosocial, and non-violent programs. Let it be based on that. Or maybe religious. In our district, someone was saying, why are you not watching church program in our class? I said, because we have younger children. They need to concentrate. We need to meet their needs. When the other ones are learning, what do you want Elizabeth to learn? What do you want them to? You want me to be reading Bible to them? But their own learning is different. The way they will learn is different from the way a 10-year-old will learn. So we need to do something that we make them. So we put educational music to it for them. And this morning when they were playing, I could see them singing. They're even learning, like even ABC or even it might be Jesus story or whatever. But they learn from that because that's the way their brain is set for now to learn. You understand? So children should be encouraged and supported to engage in extracurricular activities to reduce the time they spend on their mobile phones. Check out, there is this website. There are a lot of extracurricular activities. When they say, football, there is dancing club, there are a lot of things that they can do, that we take them off sitting down, using pressing phone or playing game 24/7. Some of them might have interest in it, but we parents, I don't have time. I can't be taking you to this. I'm a pastor in the church. You have to be there. You have to do this. No, let's meet. What needs do they have? Let's think. And my son wasn't playing football before, but when he found himself in that problem, I was specifically told. Social Service told me that this child needs to go do something. And I said, okay, what do you want to do? That was when he now chose that, okay, we want to be playing football. But just then I thought maybe it's just to keep him busy. And now, even when I was preparing for this, that is when I now realized the importance of extracurricular. This is why the social service was telling me then that I was doing 9 to 5, and I had to reduce my work to 9 to 3, that you have to take him from school to activities, And now realize that, this is really good because this will help him to stay back on track, to take him up, all this trauma, everything. So our children, let's encourage them to take part in extracurricular activities. Even coming to church to learn music, to learn song is part of it as well. They don't have to go to go and do karate, or what do they call that dance? They do. So, So whatever they want to do, let's support them. Let's encourage them to do it. As long as they are not moving away from the way of the Lord, God will help them as well. So Proverbs 4:23, it says, above all this, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Romans 8:6, it says, the mind governed by the flesh is death, but the mind governed by the Spirit is life and peace. God will help us in Jesus. Thank you for listening.